Welcome to this week's video and Pathfinder Campus Coaching. Gord Sarkissian, Jessica Locke, and Barry Morgan have created a community that supports individuals in transition and helps them find clarity, direction, and purpose with confidence. We hope you will join us and let us help you on your journey. Let's get into it. Think about the last time you tried to learn something new for work. Maybe you signed up for an online course, you watched a couple of videos, took a few notes, and then 2 weeks later, most of it was gone. That's not a memory problem, and it's not a motivation problem. It's a learning strategy problem. And here's the thing, nobody really teaches adults how to learn. We're just expected to figure it out. Today we're talking about learning strategies, specifically why the way most people learn is working against them and what to do instead. This is one of those topics that looks simple on the surface, but changes everything once you actually apply it. A learning strategy isn't your learning style. It's not about whether you're visual or auditory or kinesthetic. That whole framework has actually been largely debunked. The research just doesn't back it up. A learning strategy is a deliberate method for acquiring and retaining new skills and knowledge. It's the difference between reading something and actually being able to use it later. Here's a concrete example. You read a chapter about negotiation. Passive approach, you highlight a few lines and move on. Active approach, you close the book, try to write down the 3 main ideas from memory, and then think of one real situation in your own career where you'd apply them. Same material, dramatically different results. Here's the career reality right now. The half-life of a job skill is shrinking. Skills that were cutting edge 5 years ago are now table stakes or obsolete. That means the ability to learn quickly and retain what you learn isn't just helpful. It's a competitive advantage. When you don't have an effective learning strategy, you end up in a cycle of learning and forgetting. You spend time and money on courses and training, and 6 months later, you can't demonstrate what you learned in an interview or on the job. When you do have effective strategies, you learn faster, you retain more, and, this is the part people miss, you build confidence as you go, because you can actually see yourself getting better. The biggest trap is confusing exposure with learning. Watching a video feels productive. Reading an article feels productive. Listening to a podcast on your commute feels productive. But passive exposure is not the same as actually learning something. Here's a quick way to test yourself. After you finish learning something, can you explain it clearly to someone else without looking at your notes? If not, you haven't learned it yet. You've just been near it. The reframe is this: learning is not something that happens to you. It's something you do. It requires effort and a little bit of discomfort. And that discomfort is actually a signal that it's working. Okay? 3 things you can actually do with this. First, use retrieval practice. After you learn something, close the material and try to recall it from memory. Write it down, explain it out loud, or test yourself with questions. This is the single most well-researched learning technique we have, and most people never use it because it feels harder than just rereading. Second, space it out. Instead of spending 3 hours on something once, spend 30 minutes on it across 6 sessions over 2 weeks. Spaced repetition sounds tedious, but it's how long-term memory actually forms. Your brain needs time to consolidate. Third, connect new learning to what you already know. When you learn something new, ask yourself, where have I seen this before? How does this fit with something I already do? New information that connects to existing knowledge sticks dramatically better than information that floats in isolation. These aren't complicated, but they work, and most people will never use them because the easier path is always available. The way you learn is learnable. That's the core idea here. You're not stuck with whatever approach you've been using since school. You can get better at getting better. And that's one of the most valuable things you can do for your career right now. This week, check out the deep dive article on learning strategies. It goes into the research behind these methods and helps you think about how to apply them to your specific situation. There's also a hands-on exercise where you'll actually build your own personal learning plan and a reflection piece on what your relationship with learning might be telling you about your career confidence. All of it is waiting for you. Take the 30 minutes. It's worth it.